Alright guys, and welcome to this next part of building a medieval monastery here in Minecraft. It's already part 9 actually, where like I also promised last time, I'm gonna show you guys progress on the monastery itself. Or in the monastery itself. I did a few things actually. It's probably not the biggest update here in this episode. You can, I feel like you can or you will get a bigger update video in the next part. Because I was focusing a little bit on the inside of the monastery, and also some small details in the outside, and that includes, or that is in the outside. The main part is a cemetery. I'm gonna show you guys in a second, and also a the inside decoration. We're actually, we're pretty much getting close to finishing the whole like monastery section. Also inside before we can eventually shift our focus to the church itself. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys what I did here. So we're gonna hop right in, and I have just logged out where you guys will see the progress, and behind me I'm not gonna show that because there is something work in progress, and yeah, this is part of the next video. Any case, in any way, here is the you might remember that part of the monastery right over here. I did a video about that. Oh, oops. And here, obviously, here is the windmill and the wheat field. And I've just decided, because I didn't really know what I should do on this space. I decided to do a cemetery here, which is mainly for people of the monastery itself. And yeah, I did do the same like wall, right? As you can see, as always, like here is the same. And then right here obviously will be eventually the church. I also did the ground textures already, by the way. But yeah, anyway, you can now enter here. And I did a few. It's a bit overgrown. Maybe it's a bit too overgrown. I'm not sure, but I feel like it adds a bit more details to it. I also used a lot of these flowers I picked up from not that far actually. I have pretty good biome for that one. I think it's Lily of the Valley or something called. And then I, did some. I placed down some coarse dirt here for like the grave, or which should indicate the grave, and some tombstones eventually with some shields, right? Where obviously people are buried, and people by that I mean obviously monks and nuns, since we have like a mixed monastery. We have obviously female and male people lying here, and yeah, I have just use some random names here and there, and then you can like cross or stay here on the graveyard. Here lies Occam, Silius, Ellen, Leonard, Peter, and Herford. Yeah, so this is kind of like what I've done here on the outside so far. It's obviously not that much, but we will have I hope the FPS is fine. We will have this part down here eventually as well, but obviously it comes down to how we are going to use the monastery itself here. And you guys know that on this base we might do another field, like with a windmill. Eventually over there will be the castle, and then behind, like all of this here, I reckon we will build like the vineyard, or and the wine stocks and so forth on that place. But that's something for another project, which I'm not gonna focus just right now or soon. So yeah, we're gonna go inside now to show you guys the inside. So first of all, here is still a few things to do, and this is just kind of like the space where you are going into the church, right? And I kind of didn't use all of that space so far because I want to do like an entrance here somewhere, but which is super much dependent from the church itself. So I'm not gonna make a lot of like details here, right? For that reason, it's just like a corridor right now with not a lot of things here. Anyway, then obviously over here, you guys will see obviously the library. You guys already know that, but we have up here. It's actually over here. First of all, we have like the clothing store. So this is where, you know, the monks can use their armor. And obviously you guys might feel like, why do I use helmets here? I'm not sure if I should, like, obviously monks didn't really use any hats or something. Yeah, if I'm gonna keep it or if it's just looking good as decorations. But yeah, in general, this is just like the clothing store for the monks, so they can pick up their clothes and stuff. And eventually dress up, right? I did obviously have to get not only a decent amount of leather for that, but I also used some leather or some leather armor, which I got from the monster, you know, from the zombie spawner. You can get leather armor pretty decently like that as well. And then obviously over here we have the washroom for the monks and nuns, where obviously you know, you have the just like general like cauldrons with water filled, and then you can use the water here through pipes, or you know, eventually. It's not obviously that super high technology, but I think it's a pretty decent way to like not make everything automatized here, and feels that it's not gonna feel like super modern. And then in here we have a specific space for the toilets, right? And eventually, I'm not really sure, guys, because obviously we have mixed genders. We might want to separate that, but you know, that's kind of like what I've done here for the toilets. But yeah, that's kind of all of it here in the monastery. And overall, I mean, you know, you guys see, we don't really have a lot of space left. Besides, obviously, that one here. And maybe upstairs here, I have a small additional room, which I might use for storage and stuff, but I'm not really sure yet. But other than that, guys, we literally have completed the whole monastery. Or like in the inside, it's pretty much done. And yeah, obviously, as always, if you guys have any like future or any more ideas which I could build, especially in the monastery itself, but also like in general, let me know, and I will, you know, consider it and eventually do it. Yeah, so just as a reminder, we eventually will then, since we're now pretty much close to finish, we can start focusing on the church. And this is obviously a pretty big project, because I'm not really sure yet how it will turn out and how I want to build it. So, yeah, I feel like I still need a decent amount of, like, you know, experimenting here and there a bit. And then, you know, we obviously have a lot of more work. This is completely something else with the outskirts. There's still so much to do. Because obviously, as you guys know, the monastery is kind of planned like a small microcosmos, right? Where you can connect like different things together, like economically, especially economically, but also like culturally, socially, and so forth. And so therefore, that means, you know, we have a lot of more work to do here. But then also, you know, I need eventually, I'll eventually do like a specific project where, you know, we're gonna focus on just finishing everything in the monastery. As you can see, like the inside a bit, then here and there, a few small things we still need to add, maybe some more decorations and so forth. So there's still a lot of work to do here, you know, I'm fine doing it. But obviously, as you guys know, we will also focus on other things on the side as well, so that we're not only gonna like completely focus on the monastery now itself. But yeah, definitely you guys can definitely like feel can expect like that I'm focusing on the church eventually as well, definitely in this year, that's for sure. Because I feel like by the end of the year I would like to finish that project, and I'm eager that we can actually achieve that, so we should be fine here. But yeah, anyways, as always, if you guys did enjoy this episode, yeah, let me know in the comments, leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.